All right, welcome back to the channel. This is Flagrant Sports, of course. Today, I want to be talking about Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. They fight next week at UFC 287, and this is a big fight, of course. The middleweight title. Izzy's one of the biggest stars. Alex is looking like he's going to become one of the biggest stars in the UFC, and a big narrative going into this fight is how Alex just seems to be the worst possible matchup for Israel, and I don't think that's a fake narrative. I think that's very valid and very true in a lot of ways. Alex just has ways of matching whatever Israel does and just completely neutralizing it. Whether it's Israel's kind of bare bones wrestling offense or it's his leg kicks that he loves to do, everything that Israel tried to do in that fight, Alex Pereira pretty much had an answer for it. So what I want to do is create a game plan for Israel Adesanya to finally beat Alex Pereira. All of this is going to be easier said than done. I don't have the most knowledge when it comes to any of this. By any means am I the most knowledgeable, or by no means am I the most knowledgeable. This is just my opinion on things. I just love coming up with game plans for fighters against someone who kind of seems unbeatable or is just a bad stylistic matchup. And so I have a lot of fun doing this. So this is just my opinion. I'm not saying that City Kickboxing doesn't already have this information. I'm just presenting this just for sheer entertainment purposes, so just take all that with a grain of salt. Now that the horrible intro's out of the way, let's get into the breakdown. I have a TikTok video on my TikTok channel where I did a really in-depth breakdown. I showed footage and all that, but I wasn't able to make it as long as I wanted to. There was a couple things that I didn't get to talk about that I wanted to, but for TikTok purposes, I had to kind of cut it down to less than 4 minutes. So in this video, I might not be able to show all the footage, but I can at least explain thoroughly what I mean when I say all these points I'm talking about in that video. Okay, well, let's start with the striking. The fight obviously starts on the feet, and these fighters are going to want to start the fight on the feet. Both of them are insanely decorated kickboxers. Alex Pereira, of course, being the two-division Glory champion at middleweight and light heavyweight. Israel Adesanya fought for the title at Glory. These are two top-of-the-food chain kickboxers in MMA, and it is fireworks every time they step in. You just look at the Alex Pereira knockout against Sean Strickland or that flying knee in his debut at Madison Square Garden. He just has power from everywhere, and Israel Adesanya is quite the opposite of that. He doesn't have as much power as Alex, although he does pack a lot of power in his punches. He doesn't really get the credit he deserves for that, but he's slightly more technical, I'd argue, than Alex Pereira, more of a tactician, whereas Alex is pretty technical in his own right, of course, but he's just looking to hit you with the fight-ending blow. So as far as the striking goes, Israel Adesanya is going to have to do a lot of things that he was not able to do in that first fight. Well, how is he going to do that? He can do that in a variety of ways. Israel's offense was pretty much neutralized the whole time by Alex. Israel couldn't effectively land his leg kicks like he likes to do. He likes to maintain range with them. He likes to break down your base with them. Just basically anything that he likes to do with them, he was not able to do because of the effective checking from Alex Pereira. We saw Izzy have the same problem against someone like Jan Blachowicz. Jan has incredible kicking defense, and we saw once Israel is not able to maintain distance with those leg kicks, his offense can kind of struggle. So he's going to have to find different ways to maintain distance. I think one big way is going to be with more front kicks up the middle, whether it's just with teep push kicks or just snap kicks up the middle right into the stomach. Something different rather than just having your checks kicked all the time, because it's going to be extremely hard to leg kick Alex Pereira. He's just too good at checking them. There's a couple things he can do to land those leg kicks effectively, like catching Alex when he's evading with his shoulders back, because his waist will be in front of him, and so that could present either a takedown or a leg kick, because you can't really check a leg kick when your weight's all the way behind you and your hips are in front of you. It's not likely. And another problem that Israel found in this fight on the feet was just the cage cutting and the forward pressure from Alex Pereira. Izzy seemed like he had no answer how to stop it. A main part of Alex's offense was just backing you up with his jabs or just kicks, and then once he had you cornered, he'd kind of make you go to your right and then lead you right into that left hook of his iconic, devastating left hook, and it just narrowly missed multiple times in this fight, and in the 5th round, and of course did land, and that was the fight. But man, Israel's going to have his hands full with trying to get Alex off of him, but there is a couple ways he can do this. The first one being, of course, the kicks up the middle to kind of prevent Alex from closing in on him so consistently. Another one is he doesn't even necessarily have to throw kicks up the middle, just body kicks in general, I think, have done the job in their first fight. Whenever Alex did try to corner Izzy, there were a couple moments where he was able to circle out to his left and then blast him with a body kick, and Alex accepted that and he respected it, and he got right off of him. I think punches straight down the pipe too were very effective against Alex. Like a 1-2 from Adesanya was probably his best combination that whole night. He would throw kind of like a 1 and then kind of keep that lead hand in his face and then kind of blocking his vision almost, and then throwing in that 2, and it was cracking him multiple times. So I think that could be pretty effective as well, especially given Alex's guard. Alex's guard kind of hangs like this. It's very wide. It's by his ears a lot. So those shots straight down the middle are readily available. And I don't think it's any secret that Israel's going to have to grapple in this fight at least a little bit to win it. Alex is just too dangerous on the feet. But the big problem is that Israel is not a good enough grappler to win fights that way. It showed in that first fight with Alex that he did not have the wrestling capabilities to consistently take him down. He took him down one time, and it was with some sort of like lat drop whenever they collided, as he just wrapped him up and dumped him. That was a beautiful takedown on his part. And once it did hit the ground, it looked like Izzy had so much more experience, so much more knowledge than Alex did. But the big problem was taking him down. Against the cage, Alex's physicality and strength just appeared to be overwhelming against Adesanya. It seemed like Adesanya finally figured out what it was like for his opponents to try and take him down, because Izzy's takedown defense against the cage is nearly flawless, so it kind of seemed like he got a taste of his own medicine there. So I think a lot of Israel's takedowns are going to have to come from open space. I don't think trying to take him down in the clinch is a good idea. I think he's not as strong as Alex, and I think Alex is just too big and has too much leverage for Izzy to waste all that energy trying to take him down from there. But taking down Alex from open space is going to be a very difficult task too, especially given that 1, Israel is not that great of an offensive wrestler, and 2, the fact that his frame is so tall and lanky. It's not easy for a guy to land like a double leg or a single leg just having that type of frame. But we all know Israel's work ethic. We know he improves every fight, so I do expect him to be a more competent wrestler going into this fight, and I do expect him to find openings to take down Alex. One of them I noticed is whenever Israel was standing southpaw, he would kind of throw this shifting straight left, and even though it was sloppy, that shift in the fight, it still got a big reaction from Alex, and he did earlier what I was mentioning, where he would lean his shoulders back, kind of what Izzy does, but not wailing hooks like that, but he would lean his shoulders back, hips were right in front of him, and like I mentioned earlier, you can land good, effective leg kicks from there, but you can also take down your opponents like that. We saw Jan Blachowicz take down Israel Adesanya like that. He would draw out Israel's defense where he would lean back and try and land those super long arms on you, and that would be his cue. He'd draw that reaction out, boom, straight to the double leg, and I think that's something that Israel can take advantage of. I do expect Alex to improve as well, given that Glover Teixeira is now a full-time coach. He can give all of his focus on Alex and not his own fighting career. And we all know how good Glover is on the ground, so I expect him to give some of that knowledge to Alex and Alex to be more prepared. I think what's also going to be beneficial for Izzy is after those grappling exchanges, Alex is going to be pretty tired. We saw it in their first fight. After that 3rd round of all that grappling, Alex took a severe drop-off as far as his forward pressure, his aggressiveness. He just looked completely gassed. He might have been taking a round off. He's done it in kickboxing before, but I don't know, just looking at his body language, you could just see that was not the same fighter. He needed to take that round off because he was tired. So wrestling Alex is a good idea. For 1, you're going to have more knowledge and experience there, and 2, it's going to drain him, so he's going to be less powerful, less explosive, less likely just to march you down. So yeah, I mean, that covered pretty much all I wanted to talk about. The forward pressure from Alex needs to be avoided with either constant shot attempts because he's going to make himself available for the shot. Just the way he stands, his upright posture, it's going to be easier to take him down compared to other guys. So Israel needs to improve there. I want to see more kicks up the middle to maintain range rather than trying to win the leg kicking battle with him checking all the time. Kicks to the body, just not necessarily just front kicks, but round kicks to the body. I think those are effective ways to get Alex off of him. 1-2s down the middle, given Alex's guard. We need to see a more competent offensive wrestler, Adesanya. He cannot just be the same wrestler he was last fight. He's going to have to improve if he wants to win this fight. He's going to have to wear out Alex Pereira with his wrestling because Alex is an extremely dangerous fighter. How do you make someone like that less dangerous? You get him tired. Just like Conor versus Khabib. Conor is one of the best first or second round fighters in the history of the game. And what did Khabib do? He grinded him and he got him absolutely exhausted. And so by that third, fourth round, he was not the same Conor McGregor. And that's where Khabib found the win. And I'm not saying Izzy's going to find the win the same way or even finish him, but he needs to apply that same game plan. Take him down and just make him work to get back up because we all know he's not a black belt by any means, so he's going to use a lot more energy to get up than, say, someone that's experienced, like a Charles Oliveira or a Gilbert Burns. They're going to use a lot more technique to get up, whereas, Alex is just going to want to get right back up because we saw it in their first fight. Once Izzy had that wrist control, he just tried to stand back up. He didn't try to break it. He doesn't know what he's doing there a lot of times, so Izzy's going to have to use that to his full advantage. And yeah, do not fight that round one, Alex. Wrestle that round one, Alex. Wrestle him, wrestle him, wrestle him. You can stand with him, of course. Israel survived 4.5 rounds of standing with him. But you got to tire him out, and you got to do it with effective grappling, finding the openings with his forward pressure or with his defensive tendencies where he's laying back and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's his game plan. Sorry if this video wasn't completely well thought out. This was just kind of off the top of my head. I just wanted to get a video out because I really am excited for this fight. So I just kind of wanted to say what I was thinking. So I'm not saying this is like some Jackson Winklejohn game plan. This is just my ideas. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. What Israel Adesanya needs to do to win this fight. Does he win this fight? Give me your predictions in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to have more videos out. So, bye.